Morning, everybody. Economic Ninja here. Got my cup of coffee. You know, it's times like these with these markets in such turmoil, you got to be like, you have to have your mind and your thesis sort of in a good spot, like in a good foundation, you know, like solid as a rock. And it sounds funny, but it's all about who you listen to in life. In 2006, 2005, you know, I was predicting the real estate crash, and I was out selling all of our real estate. Back then, I didn't have a platform like this, but you know, I was speaking with colleagues and business partners and family and friends, and obviously they weren't paying too much attention, but that's okay. We got out in just the nick of time, which ironically was 2005, 2006. By 2007, it was very hard to sell homes at the price you wanted. And it was Michael Burry that really helped me out because I was following them in real time when nobody was. Now, everybody on Wall Street knows who Michael Burry is because they made a movie about him, and lots of people went and ate popcorn and drank soda and watched how him and his team made billions on shorting the market and they were out warning, but nobody wanted to listen. Well, guess what? Nobody wants to listen today. Everybody is super invested in the stock market and in homes, and you know, things are just going to keep going up. I hear it all the time. They're like, no, real estate's just going to keep inflating. Who the heck's going to buy it? I mean, seriously, at a certain point, you realize that the average person cannot buy the real estate. Well, that's why most people, sophisticated investors, keep going, yeah, well, we know that institutions will. You know, it sounds really interesting. Institutions have a lot of buying power until the day they don't. Ask Bear Stearns, ask Lehman Brothers, ask, oh man, now my mind's blanking from that company, Enron. Well, there's lots of institutions that have buying power that all of a sudden they do until they don't. Now, let's talk about Michael Burry. Michael Burry just deleted his Twitter account again. There's a lot of pressure because he's been pounding the pavement and pounding his fists and warning people and telling them the truth. Michael Burry should get a Nobel Peace Prize, to be honest with you. And you know, we should get that trending. Burry for Nobel Peace Prize. And because he's out warning people, he's telling the truth, and he's going to crush it again. And he's warning there's going to be an absolute market meltdown, the mother of all collapses, in the coming months. I believe that too. Now, when I say coming months, can it be like a year and a half away? Yes, it can. Okay, so my time frame is sometime in the next couple of years, we're going to see the mother of all collapses. And I believe we're going through the Bear Stearns moment. Ironically, or truthfully, the Bear Stearns moment today being what's going on in China with Evergrande, the contagion effect in that is actually larger than Lehman Brothers. Okay, but when I say Bear Stearns, it's because it's coming before the big event. Okay, and it's going to cause this massive amount of contagion, which is going to take out some big institutions. And so a lot of people like to put dollar amounts, but they don't understand that, yes, even though, and they say, no, this is it, it's starting. Even though Evergrande on a dollar basis is larger than Lehman Brothers, you have to realize the economy has so much more money that's been pumped in the system and created out of thin air since 2008. That's why it's not going to be the Lehman Brothers moment, okay? So Michael Burry quoted something very interesting, and this goes back to a warning I gave you guys in, I want to say, beginning of July about coffee prices. He cited Costco's warning about inflation just upticking, the cost of oil, nuts, and coffee, right? And this is coming out of, I want to say the CFO of Costco, but I could be wrong. I'm going from memory. And he's citing these higher prices. And back in July, I warned everyone, hey, if you like coffee, and you know the ninja likes coffee, solid as a rock. And I said, hey, go get some coffee because this massive event happened with the weather and the frost down in Brazil. And I got all kinds of great comments. And I got a couple really not so well thought out comments, let's say this. And people don't understand, you know, those people don't get the supply chain. They're like, well, the coffee hasn't gone up. You know, futures haven't gone up. I'm like, I don't even think Wall Street's seeing this. I don't even think the futures market priced in how big of a deal that deep freeze was down in Brazil. But here we go. You know, we're seeing these costs start to rise exponentially. And now, you know, you have Costco, which tries their best to keep prices stable. They're going, man, we're having a hard time. And they're citing all kinds of things, supply chain issues, the cost of a shipping container, all kinds of, and you know what it is, guys? It's all truth, but really it's grasping at straws. People don't want to call a spade a spade. The original reason why coffee is increasing is because there's less of it now because of a mass die-off due to extreme temperature fluctuations, okay? That's the first thing. Then there's all this other stuff stacked onto it. So Michael's out here warning people, and people are not paying attention, and that's okay. You guys are, my subscribers, because I'm not joking, you're very in tune with what's going on, and you're preparing for it, and you're not going to be a part of this craziness. As you see these prices go up, you understand how people have less and less money now to have disposable income, where they could go, hey, I want to go on a vacation. Hey, I want to go, go take my kids down to Disneyland, or go, anywhere on the world, right? Or, hey, I've got less money now for that fancier car. I'll just buy a car to get by right now. And you understand that when that happens, there's a time lag. It takes time. And then all of a sudden sales start to drop off, like especially what we're going to see with houses, and as it starts to come over, as you're watching it, and it's an everyday thing. You have to be watching things every day. It sounds funny. People all the time, they go, oh yeah, the housing market's still hot in my area. I'm like, oh yeah? When did that house sell? They go, oh yeah, they give me a couple examples. I'm like, when was that? And they're like, oh, it was just now. I'm like, just now? Like last week in September? No, it was like a couple weeks ago. I'm like, well, when? And I go ask them some more, deeper questions. They go, oh, it was actually in July. I'm like, oh, okay, big difference today. And people don't realize that. Time is not, it's all compressed in their minds. Oh, it just happened. Well, actually, that was like 3 months ago. That was like 12 weeks ago. People are like, oh yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, but to them, there's like, oh, it might as well have been yesterday. They don't realize it. It's like you read the history book and you think, oh, it just all happened in this much papers. So that means, oh, it's just this amount of time. And you don't realize, there's a lot more in history than what's just in that little book. That's what people don't realize. The book might be this thick, but history, well, there's so much history, I couldn't even, if you really recorded it, you get what I'm saying. Anyway, it sounds like it's getting loud over here. Someone's playing around with a tractor, probably trying to flip cars. So I better get going. But you have my drift. Michael Burry's out warning the people. He's saying there's going to be a crash. Stocks are completely overvalued right now. And it's funny, this little thing that's going on with the NASDAQ, this is just a little thing going on because of the debt crisis. It's going to go away. It's just to, shake some people out. It's a little bit of fear. It's going to start ticking back up, I have a feeling. This isn't financial advice. Guys, I'm just a dude with a bro hawk and a dream and an awesome coffee mug. Ooh, hashtag The Rock too if you want to put it in there. All right, guys, that being said, the Economic Ninja is out.